Good morning. This is Chelsea with CS Apex Landscape Design. Welcome to our newest landscaping series. In this series, we are going to upload these videos on Saturday mornings so you can enjoy a good cup of coffee or whatever other beverage you enjoy in the morning and listen to some landscaping care tricks and tips to help keep your home landscape looking its best. So this is January. Welcome. We made it through the old year. We've made it into the new year. So let's talk about what you should be doing in your landscape in January. Now, this is going to seem like a very slow month for your landscape. I will be honest. But there is a reason for that. January is a slower month. However, we're going to pick up the pace. You're going to have more things to do as we start getting into the main part of the landscaping season, which is March, April, May, June, all of those months. So for January, you get to relax a little bit, but don't relax too much. There's still some things you need to do. Now, speaking of January, it's time to plan. Now, I know if you're anything like me, you probably had plans and goals for not only your business, but personal life, those New Year's resolutions that we all love and yet don't seem to get very far on. Now, don't worry. I'm going to help you along this year. We're going to try and make those landscaping resolutions come true and make it very easy for you to stick with them. So, January is your planning month. What does this mean? So, get outside. I know it's cold. I know in a lot of areas there's snow on the ground. But you know what? 15 minutes a day has been shown to improve not only your mental health, your physical health, and also your mental focus during the day. That's it. 15 minutes a day. Get outside, enjoy the greenery, enjoy the snow, enjoy that fresh air. Your body will thank you. So with that, while you're outside in those 15 minutes, look around your landscape. Are there low spots that snow is gathering? Are there places where the wind is taking that snow or that debris and piling it against, say, a fence or a tree? Now is the time to look at those areas that could use some improvement for next year. Also, think about last year. A lot of us were at home. A lot of us were enjoying our landscapes that we weren't able to before because we had to work at an office instead of working from home. Did you notice that you wanted to sit outside more, but you either couldn't or weren't able to because you didn't have a patio or you didn't have a seating area? Well, now's the time to think about it. Let's think about where you should put that patio, where you should put that seating area so that you can enjoy your landscape. Also, hey, did you notice that you do have a patio, but the wind was so bad most days that you couldn't enjoy it? Or the sun was so hot that you just baked and couldn't work outside or couldn't enjoy your outside? Well, these are easy things to take care of. Wind, putting up either a living or a non-living wind barrier. Sun, let's talk about pergolas. Let's talk about shade trees. There are ways to correct these issues and make it so that you can enjoy your landscape better, more, and get the full enjoyment out of the land that you own. Now, here's something that was very popular with the COVID season, and my prediction, take it for what it's worth, I think is going to continue to be popular and maybe more popular this year, is the idea of gardening, the idea of eating out of your landscape, eating out of your backyard. So let's talk about it. Now, you need to plan where you're going to put your garden. You need to plan for good sun. You need to plan for where it's going to be able to get adequate water. You need to know where you're going to put your garden. Now, if you haven't yet, check out my website, csapexlandscapedesign.com. I have a blog section, and we're going to be posting a blog telling all about what you should think about when you're planning your garden, when you're thinking about your garden beds, when you're thinking about planning for this next year, what should you think about? So definitely check out our website. It's going to be very helpful for tips and tricks as you go through the planning process. And maybe you don't want to garden. Maybe eating out of your landscape really isn't your thing. You're too concerned about maintenance. Just, you're not interested. That's fine. But are there bare spots that you maybe don't want anymore, that maybe could be tweaked a little bit so that you can enjoy your landscape? January is the time to think about that. Now, here's your last tip for January. I promise it's the last tip, but it's kind of a long one. It's a little bit of a doozy. Do not forget to water your trees and your shrubs. Now, we're not talking about overwatering, trying to get them back to life, green up. We're not talking about that. We're talking about watering enough to keep your trees and your shrubs healthy. Now, it is commonly thought that, oh, we got enough snow, we're fine. Here's the strange part. It can take anywhere between 4 to 6 or even more inches of water or inches of snow to equal 1 inch of water. That's a lot. And in reality, Colorado and a lot of other dry states in the United States, we don't get that much snow. We don't get enough snow, lasting snow, to equal the amount of water that our trees and our shrubs need. So, if we're not getting snow, which has happened, or if we're getting just a little bit of snow here and there, please get out and water your trees and shrubs. Now, with this, for the love of your wallet, for the love of your pocketbook, do not turn on your sprinkler system. Now, why do I say your pocketbook and your wallet? The reality, you turn on your sprinkler system, it could freeze, it could crack those pipes. It is expensive to try and replace, repair, redo an irrigation system. You are much better off taking a hose, attaching it to your hose bib, and going out and manually watering. I know it's a pain. I know it takes time. But here's a couple of ways to cut back on that time and still get your trees and shrubs the water that they need. First is the 5-gallon bucket trick. Sorry, I'm going to take a drink because apparently I'm drying out. Just like our trees and shrubs. So the 5-gallon bucket trick. What this is you take a 5-gallon bucket that you can get Lowe's, Home Depot, if you've painted recently. Those 5-gallon buckets, you drill a couple of small holes in the bottom of them. Put them next to the base of your shrub, your tree, as close as you can get to the base. Fill up that bucket with water and just let it slowly seep into the ground. That is enough water to at least keep your trees and your shrubs healthy. Now, some bigger trees, some bigger shrubs may need a second 5-gallon. That's okay. If all you can do is 5 gallons, that's something. That gets them going. That gets them to be at least okay. Now, I take that 5-gallon bucket, I move it around, I go inside in between, do laundry, play with my kids. It doesn't matter. It's kind of an automatic system without being an automatic system. Now, the other way is if you don't have a 5-gallon bucket, you don't want to do the 5-gallon bucket trick for various reasons, and there are some cons to the 5-gallon bucket trick, to be honest. Taking your hose, putting it next to that shrub or tree, close to the base again, turning on the spigot. You don't need it full blast, you just need it enough to get water out of the hose. Set a timer for 15 to 30 minutes. 15 minutes-ish for smaller shrubs, 30 more for your large pines, your shade trees. You get the picture. Set that timer, and just every 15 to 30 minutes, move that hose. Now, if you've got a huge property, this can get tedious. Where definitely the 5-gallon bucket, getting multiple 5-gallon buckets helps the process. But you can easily do it without a 5-gallon bucket. And especially in smaller landscapes, you just need to get it enough to get your trees and shrubs through the dry season. And these same tricks, if you don't have an automatic sprinkler system during the summer, still great tricks and tips to use in the summertime. So remember, our goal with watering is not to wake up our trees and shrubs, but to get them enough water to keep them healthy, to get them to the summer, to get them to March and April, when we can really start turning on our sprinkler systems, when we can really start to wake up those trees. We're just trying to get them through the winter. We're not trying to wake them up. So keep your eyes on our webpage. We've got a blog coming out this month in January talking about planning and tips and tricks for planning out your garden, your edible spaces. Also, more tips and tricks are going to come out on our blog as we go through the year. So thank you for joining me this morning. Share this video with your family and friends to help keep their landscape looking its best. And remember, subscribe to our channel so that you get the notification of when our February video will be coming out.